his competitors within the SPLM-SPLA. This is what I mean within the establishment of the SPLM-SPLA. This is what President Kiir is trying to do now. Lastly, and who is that, ya Jamana? Yeah, thank you. And lastly, ya Jamana, we all want to change the way things are in South Sudan, and especially the Dinka people are sick and tired of the suffering of our people, whether we, the Dinka, suffering with our families or seeing the rest of the South Sudanese also suffer with us. We want to change this. And by all means, we will either make President Kiir a better man for this nation or we will ask him to sit at home, either through elections or we'll just tell him to go and sit at home. But every time that people try to insult all the Dinka people, including those who are fighting to fix things, it makes things even more complicated and very, very discouraging. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Brother Tilo, did you check the back channel?
Yes. Somebody is here to play for us the music. Just for us to go for a break. Yeah, continue, Tony.
Sorry, guys. Is it loud enough?
Yes, it's okay. Move it closer to the speaker.
walia. Babini ding majun kwalaro. Tingire ronna when mon jangalau. Jenga bajal queen kupalna. Jingi bargasal jingi dewai. Ojo kunyar sayin dijengwayo. Jingan bargasal. Edi nalawak sayin dijengwayo. Jingan bargasal. Unjala tulpaga. Sayin dijengwayo. Jingan bargasal. Pirlegit sayin dijengwayo. Jingan bargasal. Reda tungeno sayin dijengwayo. Jingan bargasal. Reda mon maror. Sayin dijengwayo. Jingan bargasal. Lingorial banda. Sayin dijengwayo. Jingan bargasal. Naloti maya. Sayin dijengwayo. Jingan bargasal. Awulo wulo wul madwal. Sayin dijengwayo. Jingan bargasal. Wanayol mayok. Sayin dijengwayo. Jingan bargasal. Ugama yibijol wen. Uogang ingat. Uga purra. Kijol jenga kandil marko. Kekiao yung awan mukye. Kung lulu kejube. Kajayo kejeng awen. Awen jali kejiruin. Umagai dong akol boki. Tuwaru monjanga. Abeng bayayo. Samara bang bayado. Arwen ayayo. Awen abeng bayado. I did not win now. I don't got me, don't get nothing with what I think I did not win now. One young to a little fucking run yard. The girl that tells you to run the man. The young one young to run the man. You got it for the generation. You got a land in the generation. So we need a dance, no, Ralia. But in the day, my June, Kualaro. The leader on when one young allow. You know, but you'll bring Kupala. Jingi bargasal jingi dewai. Ojo kunyar sayin dijengwayo. Jingan bargasal. Edi nalawak sayin dijengwayo. Jingan bargasal. Unjala tulpaga sayin dijengwayo. Jingan bargasal. Pirlegit sayin dijengwayo. Jingan bargasal. Reda tungeno sayin dijengwayo. Jingan bargasal. Reda mon marol sayin dijengwayo. Jingan bargasal lingorial banda. Sayin dijengwayo. Jingan bargasal naloti maya. Sayin dijengwayo. Jingan bargasal awulo wulo wul madwal. Sayin dijengwayo. Jingan bargasal wanayol mayok. Sayin dijengwayo. Jingan bargasal ugama yibijol wen. Uogang ingat. Uga purra. Kijol jenga kandil marko. Kekiao yung awan mukye. Kung lulu kejube. Kajayo kejeng awen. Yawen dante kejiruin. Umasay dong akol bogin. Yung Mario Manuel Bisaya yang di Unifis Studio. Putih sayang wet. Macong ton minung yang ngajen weng kwarago. Karetin ngajen ngajen weng namun. Macong ton minung yang ngajen weng kwarago. Karetin ngajen ngajen weng. Oh macong ton. Jadi yang tinggi di karya dan kolok. Janji kebayan nametin mecarjo kumendo. Jadi sinago acing. Macong yang ngajen weng kwarago. Karetin ngajen ngajen weng namun.
Man monjang e die ku yik no wang de na chin mor ka randi chola ke lo ke de la ke randi abur. Anyway, you guys enjoy your time.
Okay, thank you, Tony, for playing the song. The next coming is Yul. Yul is your turn.
Hey, Tony George, happy anniversary.
Yul, Into?
Yol or Mayol?
Mayol, I mean. Mayol, Into?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, it's your turn.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, moderators and
Yana
panelists.
quality ba jajat punya. Yana rincha mo ko alu baba.
Okay, all right. I'll put you down.
Jamuza Jinubin.
Yana quality rincha mo da ya kada.
I think I Changi. Okay, cho jam. Go ahead, kadang ran jam. Bi jam
Okay.
yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before I start my point, I want to uh, pass my heartfelt condolences to South Sudanese people and especially Nuers and for the loss of our strong leader John Kong Yuan, which is known liberal.
John Kong Mat.
Yeah.
Oh.
Father away today?
Yeah, it seemed it passed away yesterday.
Oh my God.
Yeah. To go to the point, the notion of Dinka own South Sudan is not really true, but this has been preached by those who need to incite people or sub community against Dinka, and those who felt that they didn't contribute anything, like those of Bashir and the rest. This is what I can say. Dinka it doesn't own South Sudan, but we contribute mostly in liberation compared with other community. This is reality, and the history is there, and history of liberation actually is a Pandora box. When people go to open it later on, history will open it, and some people will cry for their life, what they did to South Sudanese during wartime. This is what I can say. Those of Bashir or those who are inciting people, actually, I blame government sometimes. I'm government supporter, don't take me wrong. But we took it, if you come up and insult Dinka, insult government, and what, tomorrow you get a position. So now it become a ladder of getting a position to some people. When you insulted people online, when you yap online against the government, against a tribe, then you get a position tomorrow. So we become to condone criminals instead of
Hey, you
accounting them.
guys. Hold on. You guys are having fun, It's a few days to the new year, and
Drop him, please. Can you drop this guy?
I don't know. You guys shouldn't drop me.
Sorry, brother. Go ahead. I'll drop him.
Okay, thank you. Why do I say the history, what happened in South Sudan during liberation in Panadora box? There are so many things. And that is why some Dinka, they feel that they liberated people, but they didn't. We don't say that. But those who feel that they are annoying with what is going on, they just say like that. But we don't. Dinka never claimed that we liberated people, but we contribute most than other people. If Dinka didn't, with sub elements of community in South Sudan, didn't stand firm or stood firm in 93, 94, 95, there would have been no election. And this is what I can say to people, frankly. People said, oh, you guys, you didn't, SPLM didn't liberate South Sudan. We vote. Without fight, there will be no vote. This is reality. And what we went through in that during time of 90s, if SPLA were not strong enough to bring reinforcement from Barkazal and go to the displaced camp to recruit young people from displaced camp, there would have been no South Sudan today. I'm telling you guys reality. So now people, instead of telling us thank you, they're telling us fuck you, which is not true. Yes, we acknowledge some people contribute, But compare contribution of Dinka with other elements of community is not the same. It's not. And especially our brothers in Equatoria, especially Western Equatoria, they betray us long. During 90s, when Barikizal and Jabal and Nuba, they don't have ammunition. Ammunition go through Western Equatoria. But through Bishanum, we use Akaja, we use horses because we don't have cars to go in that way. Guess what? Around Ye, Al Humar, Wal Husan, or Akaja, Bukori, we used to smear them. I ka toy tarmuk, can be rare chichiu. Na chiu ke yawas ko chiping. And this is what we went through. And now people are saying today Denga is like this. So those who think that yes, these are because we are a community. There are people who are patienting, and some they can't patient when they went through that situation in 90s. So we didn't liberate anybody. We contribute, all of us. There are some communities even they didn't contribute. If we go to the history, they didn't. But let us accept the reality that South Sudan is belong to all of us. History will come and count them, not we. So, brothers who are non-Dinka, please don't tell us fuck you. Congratulate us. Give us thanks. This is what we want. And thank you. This is what I want to say.
Nyan Gorial, you can move the line, please. Hello? Anyway, okay, I'm driving right now. Can you please help the Ustaz Dengbol? Because I'm driving right now. Who's supposed to be next? Ustaz Dengbol,
Okay.
are you there?
I was asking you, who's next?
Oh, okay, you came back. Okay, Ustaz Meridia, go ahead then. You can take charge.
Okay, so the line, who's next? Actually, let me see.
It was Samsung. Sorry guys, I'm driving. Samsung particular ping, so I don't know. I think Paul Mator, the next.
Okay, Buna Paul Matar, if you are there, so open your mic. Go ahead. Paul Matar, can you hear us?
We are before
Majid,
Matar.
continue with line, yeah? 5 minutes, I'm
Simon
driving.
can come in. We are before Matar. Finas Gida Matar.
Okay, Simon, come on in.
Okay. Salam alaikum. احنا جماعة
عليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وصلنا في حتة يعني بصراحة احنا عايزين نبدأ الباب بعدها. احنا لابد ان ندافع باسم الدينكا، وده حقيقة بالنسبة لنا ندافع، لأنه جنوب السودان ده البلد مش عايزين يعني اسمع اسم الدينكا في البلد. لحين الآن ناس وصلوا في درجة انه دينكا محذوب في القائمة بتاع القبائل جنوب السودان، ونحن شايفين في كل رومات دينكا محذوب تماما، والناس بيتكلم نهارا جهارا امامنا. نحن ما عندنا وجود في جنوب السودان. ثورات زي الدينكا من قبائل جنوب السودان ووصلوا في الدرجة حذبوا دينكا. حرام حرام من بلدان ناس لا يعرف ما سبق في التاريخ. دينكا في الناس بيحاولوا الان يقللوا من سكان بتاعته. دينكا من اكبر قبائل في السودان،
The group of the people talk there.
وهو منافس في قائمه بتاع قبائل اكبر قبائل في افريقيا.
close your mic.
ما بيعرف اكل ماك يا عم.
The next one.
اشوف دينكا من ما يعرفه في السودان، هو من اكبر قبائل في السودان وبينافس من قبائل الكبرى في افريقيا. يجينا واحد من نهار اليوم يجي يقول يا اخي ده زاندي، زول يعني رافع نائب الرئيس وانيجا وكتب تحته صور داب من اول مواطن السوداني دفن في مدينه منوره في السعوديه. ليه؟ ما دي دفنوا في السعوديه؟ مرغني دفنوا في السعوديه؟ دفنوا في السعوديه لانه اسلاميين العرب قالوا لابد الراجل المتدين الديني الوصل شرعيه هنا الرساله للسود في السودان وقتل الناس. هل صور داب دفنوا في السودان؟ صور داب في مدينه منوره مع رسل جنبي هناك. انا جماعة يعني المجامله ثغره. احنا لو ادينا ثغرات للناس لانه نحن الان كي مريازي الرئيس ونحن لابد نتعامل مع الناس والناس بيطعنونا يا جماعه، بيطعنونا جهار النهار ونحن شايفينه. هنتكلم 200 نحن كشباب دينكا هنتكلم 200. احنا في الناس الان من دينكا بيقوم بيلوم جيما نمتو. هتكون شنو لما يعني تصل لدرجه تزار ما دا تكون عندك تنظيم، ما تكون عندك community، هتكون انسان زي يعني في البلد انت ما بتعرف نفسك. في الناس الان بيلوم جيم نمتك هتيليو هتربان وهلان. يا اخي الناس وراكم يا اخي، نحن شايفين كل اي روم يعني يشتمونا ويبهدلونا وديل النفرين ديل كله بيحاولوا، هم اللي بيحاولوا يا جماعه. انا عايز اقول للشباب يا اخي اللوك انت بتجيده حاول انت تتكلم. ما ممكن ان نقعد بكل يوم ويلا نطمطم لايك صراصير. لا، قول الحق وحق هو اللي بحررك. يا اخي عملنا ما عملناه في جنوب السنه يا جماعه، لكن ما في زول ولا في زول بدينا حتى كلمه شكر. ما في وجودنا ذاته في قائمه القبائل زي ما انا قلت ما في. ين ماسيو زي زميله واتيليو يعرف في خرطوم. ين ماسيو هسه عامل نفسه سياسي وهو حالا في روم بتاع ادوارد في الاسبوع اللي فات وقال يا اخي نوير في طريقه ماشي لبيبور، وهو البدايه سياسي اللي ما هو قبل، وهو بدايه على انه من اصلاح الجنوبيين اللي عايزين ينقذوا المواقف في جنوب السودان ويعلن نوير ماشي في بيبور. ما داير يتكلم فيه ونوير ماشي في بيبور، وهم السياسيين هم بيقولوا دايرين يصلوا الجنوب نفسه كيف يعني؟ لا، مش هنقبل تدليل، مش هنقبل. الان اي شعب دينكاوي لابد تدافع بقبيلتك، لانه في الناس وصلوا في الدرجه لانه دايرين يدفنونا هيا. ليه بس؟ ربنا ذاته مش هيقبل حاجه زي ده يا جماعه. ونحن في دينكا منطقه انفسنا وانتم ما تعملوا كده واتيلوا وهلان. الكلام ده مش هنقبل. احنا عملناه وسويناه ما ينفع. يجينا 50 نفر ولا 50 نفر من قبيله يقول ده يتم دينكا. دينكا is nation. عندنا ثروه. ما هو بدنا نمشي نقعد في جوبا. بس جون جرن دكتور جون قاعد الحركه مدفون في جوبا وخلاص. ناس قاعدوا في جوبا. ما بينهم نقعد هنا. you know. يا اخي اذا دايرين نقلبوا جوبا ده عايش بثروه بتاع دينكا. ونحن دايرين نقول حقائق. عشان جبان ما بدي كلمه. انا ما جبان. جنوب السودان عاج بدينكا وبترول اللي بيقسموه في دينكا بطريقه اللي بيقسموه في جوبا بطريقه الغلط. كلهم جايين من اراضي دينكا. ويا اللي يقول يا اخي هريانين وده جنجاي. ليه بس؟ احنا برضه نبتع كشمنا برضه. عندنا حق نتكلم يا جماعه. كير ما يهرى يمشي في سلطه وفي كذا كذا سلطه جايه. انا قلت كده يعني رابطين يدينا. نو احنا ما هجمنا ولا قبيله من قبائل الجنوب وقتلناهم. ونهار باجم اي قبيله نهار واسف في بيبور. ويلا بكره بيبتوا روم ويقولوا دينكا ويقولوا دينكا. ليه بس؟ قبيل انا سامع من صوت بتاع لنا مراي وصوت شنو بيتكلموا في جوا هناك بعرف جوا العرب شنو صار ما عارفه. يقول يا كده نهار ودب دارين ندخل في دينكا بس على اساس انه الناس يعرفوا ان دينكا زادوا مع نوير. لكن ين ماسيو على انه في الاسبوع اللي فات نوير لو ماشي في بيبور ودارين بس يدخل في دينكا دب على اساس انه الناس يقولوا يا كده دينكا هو ماشي في بيبور. غير شوف العمليه ما هنسكت في زمن ده. مش هنسكت هنتكلم. وهي جبان يا اخي قيد اوت من صفوفنا. كل اتيليو واتربان وامال وراهم. انت الجبان ركن نفسك هناك بس. يقول يا اخي دينك حرر الناس. ليه بس دينك حرر الناس ما حرر الناس ليه؟ في كم شهيد فقدناهم في غابات جنوب حتى ما جنوب السودان طلع وما دارين اسمه واسي. دينك وما دينك حررناهم. بشير اللي جاي قبيله ده نقول احنا حررنا الناس. جونغرن في غابه. القاعده المفجر الصوره كربينا كوانين في غابه. انتهوا بينات فزل ليس الفقير. ما مقبول حتى الان ده رموزار ما بزول قبل ولا في زول ما تربوه. يبقى انتوا ديل اللي تقول احنا متعلمين ومثقفين هتقعد بكرسي يوم من الايام ويلا يذكروك اذا الفقير مشى. نو دارين غيدوك تحت كجسمه ويلا بس اشهر على الناس. استوائية داير ينفصل خليه ينفصلوا يمشوا. اذا عنده جوع خليه ينفصل هنا يفصلوا. فعايز اقول اي بن دينكا بلوكال اللي انت بتقدر توصله للجنوبين اتكلم. لانه زمن دي اذا الفقير فارنا في هذا المعازق هنكون جسمه. والله العظيم داير اوريكم. سلام.
Thank you very much, Simon, for the time. Is somebody speaking?
Yeah, I said, can I say something?
The next person in the line is Achu. Achu, are you there? Achu? Kalas, Paul Mator, are you there?
I think that
Okay.
no, the tone is mine.
Kalas, good, come in. Yeah, come in, good.
Thank you, everybody. And I was sitting down, sir. Uh,
Hello.
yeah, Magatus money.
Go ahead, God.
Yeah, I know what could there United. I give folk like you know. When go bear Minnesota, I was listening down there. Like in a noctar job, the folk, a noctar would as always some machine, so a dahab. Yeah, a low gal in Ida. Gala, you know, Atilio Mabiar Tarek. Who's out of Mabiar Tarek? Gal zaman intifada gam numeri kan guide fi Masr. That was a lie. Numeri kan guide fi America hena. Zaman sora gam min warao. Numeri kan guide fi America hena. Ma kan guide fi Masr. That show unin akut kutai ma biar we don't know. We don't know the history. History of Sudan.
يا امريكا الامريكان في امريكا في الزياره الامريكيه
Yeah.
لما رجع داير يرجع المصريين كان صبتوه قال بلد ما
No,
كويس
yao
صبتين
kidalina de gam kidalina de gam ku kan guide in America hena. Ugam masha Masr. عشان يرجع السودان زنايد المصريين ثبتوا لكن صورة قام هو كان قاعد هنا في امريكا اما بوين بتاع انه جنوبين دينكا ديل يعني ده هون نادي ساوث السودان ولا لا دينكا ما بتاع ساوث السودان ما بتاع دينكا مع ساوث السودانيين زي باقي ساوث السودانيس لكن عن زول لما يكون مهزوم انت زول لما يكون مهزوم بعدك شنو بيجيب اي سبب بس يخطوا له لا يا اخي الزول ده لو ما كان كده كان شنو دقاني كان ما مات في ما كان دقاني شفتها زي بتاع 2013 حرب بتاع 2013 ونحن نتابع كويس يا جماعه نحن المفروض الناس اللي عاملين فيه اوبوزيشن ده نحن اسوي لهم لو كان بكذب كان الدوله ده ما لقيناه لا انت زول داير حاجه ده لازم تقول حقيقه لما الناس يمشي يبحثوا قد يمشي يلقوا يعني في محله سو حركه بتاع رياض مشار في 2013 كان ماشي ينجح يعني كان كواجات نروي ان ان امريكا بريطانيا كانوا واقفين معه لكن وكنت هو بقى ناسه اللي كانوا معه بقى يكذبوا اكاذيب شديد كثير يا كواجات ديل شالوا ينايدو فاتوا من وراه لانه كواجه كل شيء ولا كذب كل شيء ولا كذب انت لو قاعد تكذب اخير تسرق منه انت تسرق منه بيعتبروك انت ذكي لكن لما انت تكذب ويفاني ودين انت كذبت خلاص الصداقه دون انتهى فجماعه النادي اسا يعني رياض مشار اسا وقعد في رحمه بتاعت كير لكن ما عنده بروتكشن من امريكا ولا من نايدا لانه لقوا زول كذاب والناس كله كذابين يعني يمشي يجيبوا صور من وين يجي يخطوه يقول ده دينكا عمل كده وده دينكا عمل كده وزمن ده زمن بتاع تكنولوجي ده ما زمن الناس بكتب تمشي لجوجل بوريك صورة ده جاي من وين ويوم كم وشهر كم وسنة كم فأهلنا ديل الأهلنا بتاع استوائيين ديل هم بقى مهزومين وما في طريقه تاني اللي يقلبوا حاجات دي. وبعدين هم قاعدين يقولوا دين عمل تنم نايدا نايدا لدوله. لو جينا ناس المستفيدين
ما لا يا استاذ قول انت قصدك المهزومين هم اللي نزل في كلاب هاوس الفئه البسيطه دي يعني ما كلهم طبعا.
اي ما ياو ناس الاوبوزيشن دي بعد الاوبوزيشن دي اللي انا قاعد اتكلم عنه. اما نايدا الناس اللي قاعدين بلد في بلد هناك ما عندهم 100 مسلم. دي الناس اللي قاعدين في السوشيال ميديا دي اللي هم عاملين سلاح، فهم معزومين وما في طريقه لازم يعمل فربوغندا. لازم يعمل فربوغندا. يومتها كان يعني ناكو أدانا بحاجة اسمه اسمه شنو ده نايدا جرابينج لاند جرابينج بقى مسيح. فلازم يجوا بحاجة تاني دين يعمل لاند جرابينج. ولو انت مشيت هسه ده انا في منطقه هنا منطقتي انا في مشيت اقول عملت سنه هناك. جماعه ديل نايدا ده كله NGOs منظمات ديل كله هم ماسكينه. وفي ناس قاعدين هناك برضو يعني شغالين بيزنس. ما في زول قاعد يسالوا. ما في زول قاعد يسالوا. بيلفوا بالليل ولحد الصباح ما في زول قاعد يسالوا. فانا ما بكتر كلامي بقول جماعه ديل مهزومين. وزول مهزوم طبعا قلبه بوجع لازم يخلق حاجه. ناس البشير ده ساكن معي هنا. نايدا حسن قرن ساكن معي هنا. بعدين بشير ده ما بقدر اعيش زاري من غير دينكا. ما بقدر اعيش من غير دينكا. الجماعه دي ناس ما نشيلوا نايدا. ده باقي الناس التانيين انا ما بعرفهم لكن انا بعرف نفرين دي. هم ما بقدر يعني يعيشوا من غير دينكا. انا بقيف هنا وشكرا على الفرصه وشكرا.
For the time. Rania Biel, the next.
فرصة بتاعي.
Who is that?
اشوف قدام.
Achuk, we have tried to call you before and you did not respond. You with Paul Matar.
Oh, yes,
You said Biel, right?
I'm working and I'm driving. I'm working and driving at the same time. But last I did I got 10-minute break.
Okay, Kalas, come in.
Go ahead.
Okay, all right.
Come in. Biel will come after you here. Continue.
Okay. السلام عليكم. أنا صراحة أنا عايش أتكلم في مسألة الخطاب السياسي المتداول في كلاب هاوس يعني. وده كان نقطة التخوف بتاعي. أنا كنت خايف من الخطاب ده يعني. الخطاب اللي مستخدمينه مثلا في كلاب هاوس like last 2 year or 3 year. الخطاب ده كان خطاب قبلي وخطاب التحريض وخطاب الحرب النفسي. ده كان خطاب المستخدمينه وكان في تركيز بصوره غير مباشره على دينكا يعني بين الدينكا عمل ودينكا مسيطرين ودينكا عملوا. انتوا اذا لاحظتوا الخطاب ده عنده هدف بتاع معين. الهدف بتاع الخطاب واضح. الهدف بتاع الخطاب هو يعمل دامج للحاجه بيقول له دينكا مساهمات بتاعه مثلا. وفي نفس الوقت هم عايزين يخلقوا نوع من التحالف يعني القبائل يتحالفوا مثلا ضد الدينكا عشان نقدر يحققوا لاهدافهم السياسيه هم دايرين يحققوها. ده الهدف من الخطاب. لكن في نفس الوقت الخطاب ده مستخدمينه ونتج النتائج العكسيه. وده كلام كنت خايف منه في فتره زمنيه يعني. النتائج العكسيه شنو؟ بيخلي الدينكاوي الموجود في اي ركن من اركان بتاع البلد ولا خارج البلد بيخاف وبيحاول يفكر في طريقه البقاء. ولما يفكر طريقه البقاء بيحاول يفكر طريقه التمكين. كيف يقدر يخلق عاليات اللي بيقدر يحافظ بها نفسه والعاليات اللي بيقدر يحافظ بها في السلطه هو موجود فوقه. فاذا لو لاحظنا بين الخطاب التحريض دائما الخطاب القبلي والخطاب الاسني يعني انه تاثير عكسي للخطاب السياسي الشامل يعني. فانا ما مستغرب بين في اصوات ظهر في الدينكا بيجي يدوا مثلا هم يدافعوا عن انفسهم. وفي في الاجسام كمان كونت على اساس يا اخي الدينكا مثلا في الخطر، ده الناتج من الخطاب الموجود ده، الخطاب المتداول في الساحه السياسيه. فعشان نقدر ننقذ البلد نحن كمثقفين وناس مستنيين قاعدين برا ولا قاعدين جوا، نحن عايزين نغير اسلوب الخطاب حقنا. الخطاب نحن قاعدين نتكلم به ده يتغير، لانه كل ما تتكلم بخطاب تحريضي بيدي للخطاب المضاد. وده حاجه ما حصل مثلا لمجتمع بتاع الدينكا مثلا، الناس المتوقفين مثلا، ده برضه حصل ليهود لما بعد حصل لهم الاباده الجماعيه في المانيا وتعرضوا للاضطهاد. المفكرين اليهود قعدوا تهدوا وقال كيف نحن نضع الخارطه بتاع الطريق لليهود كيف يقدر يعيشوا. فهم قاموا جاوبوا باثنين نتائج، جاوبوا بالاساس يا اخي نتمكن اقتصاديا ونتوقل في المجالات التعليم ومجالات الثانيه. ده السبب خلى حاليا اليهود مثلا في اي دوله مثلا متمكنين في الاقتصاد وقاعدين في مراكز القوه. ده النتيجه بتاع الحرب بتاعهم زمان الاباده اللي حصل في المانيا برضه بعد هزيمه المانيا. المانيا قعدوا وفكروا وقالوا يا اخي نحن كيف نبني المانيا من جديد وكيف نضع المانيا في دان. فده بيدي العكسيات، الخطابات القبليه والعنصريه بدي عكس تماما، يعني بيخلي ده. وانا خايف من الخطاب ده شديد، لان الخطاب ده ممكن يؤدي الى ظهور التيار متطرف داخل الدينكا، والتيار ده ممكن يطلع بنتائج العكسيه. فده نتيجه الخطاب. اما في المساله بتاع انا كان سمعت الكلام بتاع اخ ماثيو، مساله بتاع الدينكا كماجوريتي، وكلامه كان كلام جميل جدا. الدينكا على الدليل بتاع الدينكا خلى مثلا الدينكا كالقبيله مثلا القوميه وصح وقبيله كبير، لانه في واحد قال قبل بين النسبه بتاع التيارات السكان الاخير نسبه الدينكا 35%. اذا كان نسبه 35% من السكان وكل قوميه واحده، قوميه ثقافيه واحد في البلد واغلبيه، ده ما فيها معنى. لكن هل بدي الاغلبيه مثلا يهضم حقوق الاخرين؟ لا. وفي نفس الوقت ده بيخلي بعض الاغلبيات مثلا الموجوده ما يحترم ما يهضم حقوق الاغلبيه؟ لا، لابد يكون في قاسم المشترك الناس بيبحثوا عنه يعني. ففي النهايه عايز اقول بين الدينكا مثلا اذا في عدد كبير لقيتوه وزارات، ده جاي بالنتيجه بتاع وجودهم بالنسبه بتاعهم. يعني مثلا اذا في 1000 قدم في وزاره خارجيه وقالوا نسبه الدينكا 35% من الناس المقدمين وزاره خارجيه، وعندك 1000 وظيفه، اذا الدينكا هيطلع منه 350 موظف في الوزاره الخارجيه. هيفضل كم هذا 750 باقي الجنوبيين؟ لو مشي في نفس الوزارات دايرين نسبه مثلا بتاع 100 في وزاره الماليه موظفين، وقالوا يا اخي الدينكا دايرين يقدم بالنسبه بتاعه، لسه هيكونوا زي 40 موظف ولا كم 30 موظف، والباقي العدد ده 70 ده هيكون القبائل الجنوبيه الثانيه. فالمساله ما مساله بتاع العدديه، انت العدد كبير ولا العدد صغير، المساله هي مساله الكفاءات واحد، هي المساله بتاع العداله الاجتماعيه، عداله توظيف، عداله سياسيه. فمن مفترض المعارض يتكلم في الحاجات زي ده، يتكلم في خطاب بتاع كيف تكوين الدوله، دوله المؤسسات، دوله بتاع العداله. لكن الخطاب بتاع التحرير ده عكس بتاعه موجود، عكس بتاعه واضح، بيخلي حتى الدينكاوي المعارضه النظام بيغير رايه، بيخلي الدينكاوي مثلا ما عنده فكره يوم من ايام مثلا بتاع الهيمنه، هيفكر مثلا كيف يبقى. وبعدين ما انتم ما فزوا بالجهل الدينكا وجوده في جنوب السودان، لانه هو المجموعه العسكريه انت محتاج له، ده مجموعه اقتصاديه انت محتاج له، ده مجموعه ثقافيه من الثقافات المكونه داخل جنوب السودان انت محتاج له. اي تغيير يتم في جنوب السودان ما فيها الدينكا ما اظنه، لان انت محتاج يعني. والدينكا عشان يعمل تغيير برضه يكون محتاج لمكونات الثقافيه الاقتصاديه العسكريه الثانيه الموجوده، محتاج له برضه يعني. فالنوعيه الخطاب الموجوده ما عنده اي اساس. لكن حاجه انا عارفه، الخطاب المستخدمينه اخوانة المعارضه هدف ده واضح، هي تشويه سمعه
فاتح.
الدينكا. اوكي، هي تشويه سمعه الدينكا داخليا وخارجيا. نمره اثنين هي التحالف، وده غلط. انت ممكن تحالف ضد القبيله، انت ممكن تبني خطابك السياسي على القبيله، انت تبني خطابك السياسي على المشروع السياسي معين. وشكرا.
ممكن تدوني فرصة نسلم عليكم؟
Okay, 1 minute.
Just 1 minute late. This is as SPLA woman,
Are
ya
you
quick
going? Am
malu.
I going to speak or will I answer?
Because your time. Your time is coming, SPLA woman. Your time is coming.
Am I
Kalas,
going to speak?
Okay.
Kalas. The next person in the line is Abiel. Abiel, continue. Moderators, do you have any interjection?
Okay.
Move
Let
the
me
line.
let me close my microphone. Let my time agi.
Abiel, continue.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Assalamu alaikum, brother Madit, the moderator, Yanugo Real, brother Matoldit, Cow, the last name I didn't see there, and Nas, all the panelists, and Nas Samainted, I greet all of you. Before I begin my speech, I want to pay my heartfelt condolences for the passing of late Commander John Kong Nguyen. Those are the heroes that fought for the cause of people of South Sudan. My condolences to his family and the Nuer community as well as the nation of South Sudan for the great loss. Now I'll go to the topic. The issue of this, every time there's a room, we'll start with a different topic. At the end of the day, they will always bring in the issue of Jiang as the ethnic or tribe that is actually responsible into what is happening. It actually compels in the early this year, January to the February, when the issue of Jiang Namtok came into to be conceived, that we need to have a unified force that will be able to go out there and defend. Also to discredit the allegation being done against the ethnic community. Yes, Jinks are not the government, but the opposition, not even all, but some, they make it as a way of rallying their support from their base to get the support that it happened in Clubhouse a lot. It used to happen also in Facebook Live. People will come to the show. We'll talk about the issue, the disagreement within the SPLM. It will drag in and bring in the issue of the Jiang, and then even the Jiang that is in Morabatawal, under his looking after his cattle or farming in his farm. His name will be always dragged into discussion as being responsible of this issue of what's happening in South Sudan. The issue of population and majority in South Sudan has also been said in Jiang. They are inflating the numbers and the fact that they are not majority. It happened also from some of the high-profile politicians. One of the examples, the vocal about these issues is Emmanuel Jawin. We'll talk about this a lot, that even we don't know who's majority in South Sudan. The fact that Jiang is spread across 7 states before the creation of the 3 administrative area, still 7 states and 2 administrative area. This alone can give you the population that Jiang are the majority in South Sudan. Population are huge in number, and that's why they're there. There also been said that because some, based on the, when they found themselves, Jamana Stabanin, at this time in Sudan, Telga nas this SPLA soldier that work from Barkazal or from Ranil, Mashefok, Fibil Farm, they trained, they came back, they fought, and now they found their life miserable. Lemonelga Zol guy at Alubuga Dengazad. In frustration, he will speak, Jamana, we liberated this country. And that is the truth. Italo Lagita escaped to SPLA that fought countless battle that actually protected the people of South Sudan and guide them to vote for the independent. Of course, this person can say we liberated you as an individual because this word may come from one person from Dinka. Now the other tribe will say, you see, this is how the Dinkas are talking. They liberated this country. Uh, and sincerely, we SPLA, we even mentioned this a lot. The majority of the foot soldiers during the struggle happened to be the sons of Jiang. This can be seen in composition of the song, and even those commanders, they were commanding most of those soldiers that were fighting the war. People like Uyai Deng Ajak, that their name became famous in Operation Jungle Storm or Bright Star campaign. Most of the foot soldiers, they come mostly from Dinka sons, and the success attributed to the commanders in the field when they don't have a lot of people. But these are the people that can actually come and satisfy Juana Junubin, Nazen as Uyai Deng Ajak, Nazen as Pagana Mum. They can come and tell Jamana, we were commanding these people. We don't deny, no, we did not contribute it. Because they have already contributed into the
Kulum,
making of
Kulum,
this.
all of them. Ata, Tommy Chirido and Moboto Mahmoud, all of them.
Yes. So Dinka do not deny the significant contribution from other ethnic group. لأنه Dinka بقى ناس كتار تلقى في سوريا في زول Yabila Sagero is there and contributed, then Binagula Jaman we have contributed. But the number play a role in anything. Even now, people are coming through the election. Of course, Jing will come from Barkazal, Jing will come from Greater Upper Nile, and they will be elected by the constituency, you see. Therefore, they will get their numbers to be the huge in the parliament because of their representation. That are the facts that is there. There's a work in place. The name of the Jing because of the SPLM led by President Kiir, Fiaja Russell Few Markwise. They want to say now it's all attributed to Ibra Dinka. Lot of the gun opposition, lot of the gunmen not supporting the government. They went as far as saying, Jamana, we don't even trust those Dinka that walk away from the SPLM or those Dinka that are opposition that are also with them. A lot of show. Emmanuel Ajawin one time talk about it. These people, we don't trust them because they are sons, daughter of Jing community. Lano, they don't see President Kiir in form of his presidency. They see him as a son of Jing, and therefore every Jing should be attributed to his fail if mistake that they have done under his leadership or late Dr. John Garang in that case. And that's why we are saying, this is a work of the opposition. They are working very hard. And for Clubhouse, there was one of the Tata or something like this. It was writing, we will make sure that we destroy the name of Jing in what all we can do. Or if Clubhouse of East Africa or if UN will do that. And it's son of Equatoria at the same time. But this is not all everybody. These are few individuals that want to make it the way. But when it comes from the figures, Regi Tata, when it comes from a high politician that inspiring to be the leader of the countries, that make his case always against the Jing, even though his party, if Jusum and Jing guy now, and they're supporting him. Managula Jamana, what will you gain out of this when you want to single out the ethnic tribe? And some of the room have been open, 63 against 1. But I think it's all our work. Nina Yalta Denga, Banana Denga with that. We need to work very hard to make sure that South Sudanese understood. If you came across the room, that talking to Jing, they say, the one that own the South Sudan, Jing does not own South Sudan. South Sudan is for all 64 tribes. But for us, still think mentally. Mentally, they are slave. Mentally, they don't accept that. We are all equal. We are all equal in the eye of South Sudan. Whether you are Jing or other 64 tribe, we should be treated equally. And that's what we fought for that country to be, for us to be a first-class citizen. There's no second-class citizen in South Sudan. Uh, but the lifestyle may not be equal. Even Jing are suffering. It's only few cliques in the government. President Kiir, that is surrounded by some few powerful individuals that are not from the son of Jing or Doubters. They are benefiting from this government. We have no good government there. Them are government that thrive. Now to conclude my point, it is a comment that made earlier by Chairman Dengbol here regarding the issue of Jing Namtok. We have seen the issue of JCE in the last, even in Jing Namtok, they hosted them here. They explained the reason why they were formed. But sincerely, I believe Jing Namtok has done a lot, and he will continue to do a lot when he brought those elders to explain themselves to the people of South Sudan. But our people, they make their mind in the issue of JCE. Even now, they are not closer to the government, President Kiir. They continue to be single out. They are the one making a decision within the SPLM or President Kiir government. But now, the role of JCE in the eye of other Dinkas seem to come short of the purpose they were founded for. No, it's not the topic, because if they cannot intervene in the issues of the Jiang affairs, and they claim to be the elders, as we know that they're elders, but they cannot even intervene in the internal affairs of Jiang, that alone will let us question them. Why are they there, the elders? And we know, understand, based on our culture, elders mean a lot, and they can intervene in the issue of the conflict within the Jiang itself and other internal crises that may arise. And we have seen that in case of the recent conflict, Nazel did not do anything. Now, the role that of Jing Namtuk can do, Jing Namtuk has to continue. It should not fail short of fulfilling the purpose that it was actually first conceived. We need to be the vocal point. What can we do better, the Jing as a whole, so that we can actually try to tell people of South Sudan that Jings are not the bad people. Jing are not part of the government. They're not responsible of bringing key to the leadership of the SPLM. But it's a son of Jing at the same time. You cannot deny that Salva Kiir it's not our son. So what I can say is that in the beginning, I supported the formation of Jing Namtok, and I will always continue to support it because there's something good I see out of it. As a man, every generation has something to contribute on this thing. And our generation will be known on what can we do to better the life of our people for University Sudan. We are not to be the same political affiliation. We can leave political aside, but as a community, I think we can do better, especially this generation of ours. Thank you very much.
Moderators, can I have a question?
Go ahead, yes.
I have a question to Comrade Abiang. My question to you, Comrade Abiang, who is killing people in South Sudan? Who is killing people in Bargadan and in Apanan and Equatoria?
What do you mean? The tribal conflict, or you mean what killing are you saying?
I'm asking in general. It's a general question. Who is killing people in those regions?
Of course, those are killing themselves are South Sudanese. Jiang is fighting against Jiang. The other tribes are fighting against themselves as well. It is something that is obvious in the eyes of our people. And it is where we say, this is the role of the government as full shot of not protecting. Because the bullet and fuga you cannot allow civilians to kill themselves. You have to intervene by any means, whether you are using force or using any means to stop the violence. That is the role of the government, responsibility of any government. In this case, the current government has to take responsibility of protecting life.
Yeah, but
Thank
to have a two answer, brother Bial. The one question is brother Dinka is, yeah, they have a right to ask a question like this because South Sudan have so many violence. Because like the one saying people are killing themselves, yes, it's true. Like in Bardu, Madansa, the people are calling themselves is معارضين في الجنوب. المعارضين في الجنوب ديل اصلا امورهم كل ما مسكوا السلاح بتاع المعارض ما قلبوا ضد الحكومه يقتلوا السبيليان ينهبوا حاجات بتاع السبيليان بقربها قرى بتاع السبيليان هجروا ناس يلا بعدك بيجي بكوره هنا في الميديا يقول قال الحكومه يا قاعد يقتل الناس بتاعهم. لا برضه لازم تعاين للباب دي. يبقى في واحد يتكلم كبير انه لما يطلعوا برا يمشي للمسيرات بتاع يونايتد نيشن وافريكا يون ولا يطلعوا بالمسيرات بتاعهم بيجيبوا اصوات ما موجود في الصحف ده. يبقى حتى الناس اللي كانوا بيطبعوا ناس دقع قاعدين في اوفر في افريكا افريكا وسطى ياسموا بانجي لما كان حصل مشكله بين المسلمين والمسيحيين وكانوا بيطبعوا ناس الناس اللي بيجيبوا لنا هنا ويقولوا قاعد يجي من السودان قتلوا كل الناس دي كلهم بوكو حرام في نيجيريا. So في بروباغندا كثيره جدا قاعدين يعملوا لي الموضوع بتاع قتل بتاع سبيليان ده اللي بيعملوا حاجات كله ده المعارضين. Thank you.
I think we'll continue.
I think, moderators, you can continue. I'm going to
Yeah,
elaborate my question later on
you,
when
you
my
go.
time comes. What the reason I asked for.
Smooth line for now.
Jama, I'm here, but I was being jumped. I don't know why.
Yeah, you're the next speaker after Mama Chai, so you'll be next, straight after her, because I've just refreshed my screen. So Mama Chai, you're the next speaker. Achai, yeah.
Hello.
It's your turn to talk now.
Oh, okay. معلش أنا قلت اديت فرصة لولدي التاني ده. السلام عليكم يا أهلي يا أولادي يا بناتي يا South Sudanese people. ويغاچم موضة يعني شاي كوين غران. أنا ساكن في Initial Phoenix, Arizona. My first time بجاي يوكد show clubhouse because before I was just watching what they calling Facebook media. But now people have a clubhouse. It's the first time to meet with you guys. Nice to meet you. Haja da nugulu. Mishkila utadenga da. When so long time. Ma gadi ne bahabo. Wala babta rozato shani gul kelma denka. So ina nikali da kalimi wanusu. Anina bas namula lindina. Alalena namulu. Nina namul barana kide na denka da. Ikali karaya baram le nafusum. Atek tok bitakum da. Ya kala bagi nas. liga fursa. Hasa lo amalna kida bas general denka bas mafi dem min kida udem min kida udem min kida unamulu bas one umbrella denka wahe denka jeng choktok wala jeng namtok da mungkin nagdar namul defend le nufusna lanu nina ya begina target amulu target fi junub de denka mafi gabila tani indu target fi junub ana bukan بقول لنفسي أنا شايدة زول بتاع الناس كله. أنا هسه في أريزونا هنا حتى ناس كاتوريال بيقرأوا قالوا ناس دينكا ناس عشان أنا ما قاعد نقول لهم نوريهم كلام كراية. أنا قاعد نقول لهم كراية ما بودينا قدام. خلينا نحب بعضنا وكل زول في بيته كل زول شغل ماشي شغله سايق عربية بتاعه جاي في بيته ماسك شيك بتاعه يتسري الثلاجة بتاعه ياكل الكراية ده كله ليشنو هم سبيقة يقول لي عشاي بتاعنا ولازم يقول لي ماما شاي دي ماما أريزونا ماما أسفيالي so kunta بنعمل كلام ما نعمل نكون عندي مشكلة مع زول lakini مشكلة دينك بيجا worse كم سنة قاعدين بيقولوا حتى زول سمى نفسه وكتب صورة بتاع تعبان الراجل ده بيقولوا منو واني إيجا ده زول is a fighter guy ما عنده اتنين تلاتة ده زول قاعد مع ناس قرن من long time وناس كير وناس أسفل he never change hasa kata sura بتاعه وقالوا اسم بشير حسن ترابي حسن ترابي عمل شنو معناته kata sura ده انتوا جنوبين ولا انتوا دينكا ده بالذات خلي بالكم من اسم بتاع الراجل ده مش عشان قاعد يريد اسم حسن ترابي بتاعي أنا in my mind حاجات حسن ترابي عملوا في الدين ده يا في راسهم الناس البكرة دينكا ده هيجوا يعملوا لدينكا كتب في بالكم دول ده مو اسم حسن ترابي يا عجبوا kata sura بتاعي وانا يجا وكتا اسم بتاع حسن ترابي ده بوري شنو لكن ما يحصل منجان بقول زول البكراك ده خليه جنبك القبيل ناس قبيل قال لي يتردوا صح كلامه كان تخلوه يونس مشكلة اللي في قلبه اللي في بطنه كله يطلعه وناس بعدك يعمل مناقشة لكن من الزعل ولا عشان داري هاكر زمن يا هو عملوا له كيك برا مفروض كان تخلوه لو جاء next time باسم بتاع سنترابي ده خليه يجي السنترابي ده لو كان عنده كل حاجة كويس عمله كان هدينجا يا بمسلوه اسمه كان ممكن زول يعمل نينجا باسم لانه ليه أبوبته اسم أويت من أول قبيلة بيقولوا باريك أبوبته لكن ما عنده أبوبة من كاتوريا ولا ده من كاتوريا ما في ونادين ناس ترابي عشان ترابي لما جاء في مصر 1997 أنا كان في مصر كان قاعد ينادي قال انتوا كيلاني أنا ده دمي دينكا وشوف قاعد يقول دمي دينكا ولا عمله في دين لما أتى خالي أنا ده ليه ما في أنا قاعد نقول أنا شاكي ناس اللي رقوا في دين ربطوا ورشوا بيجاس ورقوا وتخالي بكون في محل ده لأنه وتخالي طلع من أنا صغير وما قاعدين نلقاه خالص أجار عملوا في دين ما جابوا بس جامل نفسه ده إنسان بريد جنوبين وespecially بريد نادينكا وده كذب اسم ترابي قاعد يعمله ده ما اسم بتاعه turabi ma ndo alaka mana skatoria wala jidu wala bobtu turabi da na sawul da mumkin masulu lanu bobtu isima wit ha zol da alfarasu da baden neji guluna zinka da ya baktu
انت
nafusum
انت قاصد تراب ولا قاصد صادق المادي؟
No, Sadik Almadi, I mean, sorry.
Yeah,
My Bob
and
Alakbar.
Trabi le Paladi, Wusul Bito Paladi.
No,
South
no,
Sudan Zar.
Ana Gasit, Sadik Madi. Ukata Wisu Masan Trabi, mush?
Azul Gubernal Marship, Tanama Lake, Janakunda
Ugal Bashir Hassan Trabi. Deo Yao Ana Gasit, Anama Gasit. Bashir Hassan Mahdi, wala Munu, Anamar Mahdi. Umadi de ya umu abobtu min denka. Lakin turabi zatu maindu alaka ma denka lokata ipsimi turabi. O sading madi ya windu alaka ma denka.
كتب اسمه صور الذهب صور الذهب.
Oh, suara dahab, asen suara dahab. Oh, ya. Suara dahab, okay. Suara dahab maindu na mau. Ana guta sading madi ya umu min denka. Malish. Aboba, I'm a loss in just forgive me, ya yali. نخلوه كده ما مشكلة. لكن زول القتل الناس في الديان ده بيقولوا صادق مادي. معلش أنا مشيت لبت هناك. فأنتوا يا دينكا ما أعرف شباب ده ما أعرف أنتوا ده لازم تعمل بيس بيناتكم كأبناء بتاع دينكا شباب بالذات وبنات كلهم لأنه ماشيين ننتهي كده. الشكل أصلا قريب ده مو ياو والي بتاعنا ماشي مدام يعملوا ويلكم يجي في يمسك شغله ماشي أو ملولو ويلكم بيقتل في تون. وده دينكا ما فوق أي قبيلة. والناس اللي بيكره دينكا ده بيصفق لهم. ده عملنا شنو؟ So أنا قلت قبل نجي نسلمكم لأنه ده أول مرة زول يجي حتى التوبيك أنا ما سألت التوبيك ده شنو but أنا بنعلم شوية معاكم لما نلعب بعدين إنا بنتكلم في شنو. لكن موضوع بتاعي عندنا نقوله ده وحدة بتاعكم كدينكا زي ما بقولوا دينكا شوكتوك دينكا نمتوك دينكا توكتوك ونا بتكلم كلام واحد. لازم تعمل وحدة بيناتكم. يال انتهى شباب انتهى نينا البرد ده أحسن. أنا بشوف هنا أحسن. لكن نازل في بلد كل زول نايم خايف. كأنت قمت صباح أقول الحمد لله وبكرة أنت ماشي تقيل خايف ونايم خايف. ده اللي شنو؟ ونينا برانا يا بنقتل بعضنا. أبيا يا قاتل نفسه ما تجمع يا دي وده دينكا. أقوى بلدي أنا وأبو قتل نفسه ب 8 years. لكن الحمد لله أتم جا عمل لهم سلام بيك ما في ناس كويسين وباقين ناس اللي لسه بيشاكلوا ده. ما انتوا دينكا عمل ندوة بيناتكم كشباب واحد نفسكم وصلى على نفسكم عشان لو عدو جاي ما دار دينكا يلقاكم انتوا قاعدين في امبريلا واحد. وشكرا انا بجيب هناك.
Thank you, Mama Chadit, for your input. Moderators, does anyone have anything to add before we move on?
I'm
Yeah, I
good.
just want to fix. Can you hear me, Abu?
Yes.
Yeah, I just want to correct something because I hear Chai before asking what was the name of that person. The name was Toradab, I think. That's what he wrote. Yeah, Toradab, yeah.
Okay شكرا.
All right.
ممكن
Okay,
نعرف دوري.
yeah, thank you. We'll move the line to Peter, Uncle Peter.
Yeah. I will start with my condolences to the family of Liberator, John Kongwon, to the SPLM, and to the Nuer community and the direct family for the great loss of our hero. He fight for us until the last minute. May God Almighty rest his soul in peace in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. Let me say thank you for Apuk, Medit, and all the panelists, special brother to the bank, Been a long time. I've never met with you on the social media. And the rest, I'm not little anyone here, but let me say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year in advance. To go on to the topic, I will start with most of the people may went through it, and it may look later on like repetition. Are you hearing me? Because my network is telling me connection for.
Can hear you clearly, yes.
Yeah. Let us begin with the Dinka community. The Dinka population is not little as the other people think. Because what I come to learn here on social media, most of the people, they don't have a geographical knowledge about the South Sudan. Some are born in Khartoum and they raised up there as a Genovese. Some are born in a refugee camp and they become a big people. The refugee camp. They just yet the Dinka is a tribe. But when they ask you to go and travel around the countries that are occupied by the Dinka people, and give you come back and they ask you, you will say, "Oh, Dinka is very big." That is the truth. Let me put you a little bit. In 1982, there was a census made. At that time, Awil as a county was consist of Govial and Awil. And the Awil population at that time was 2 million. 2 million. Started from Govial to Pidmayadi, except Ngok was not included, and all of Manuel Genya. The population of Awil at that time was 2 million. That was in 1982. What about now, 40 years later? What do you think? If you want to make a census now, would be double or triple? That time, Rumbek, as a county, is started from Tony to Ural, and the population was 1.8 million. Awil was more than Lake State that time, over 200. Okay, that is only Barkazal, the Dinka in Barkazal that time. We never come to Jongle, we never come to Alani, and we never including Abia even as the population of the Dinka. So the population of Dinka, nobody will downside them or will little them because we are there in majority. And the history will say, and the reality will say, that is the truth. Yes, we don't say that we own South Sudan as the Dinka place only, because God was not stupid to create a different tribe and put them in the land of South Sudan, and to come, the Dinka will say the land is belong to me. But the most contribution we made to that country to be existed is more than in other tribes because of our population. This is the reality. No one will deny it, but whoever will deny it could be somebody who was born in Khartoum or born in the refugee camp. He doesn't know anything about South Sudan, and take his way and make his way to Europe or to America or to Canada and then or Australia. But somebody with the knowledge of a geographical distribution of people dwelling, he will not say that. That is not the case. We are all there and we will see the reality later. Let us come to the word Madam Achai said. Madam Achai cannot be my mother, but could be my sister. Could be a mother of the others here. Okay. Madam Achai, you say a very good word that the unity of Dinka among themselves is paramount. It is really a touchy word, and I believe that most of the people will understand here that let us unite. Our unity will not be against the other tribe. Our unity are the Dinka people will be between us to respect one another and forget about political affiliation, because there is a saying that don't put your egg in one basket. The political affiliation has nothing to do with the Dinka unity, because whoever oppose the system or choose the different party, still a Dinka, but he choose his political ideological where he belongs to, and he thinks that what he will do for his country will be better than the other one who is sitting now. That is not going to chase him away as a Dinka, still our brother. We will come and meet and discuss our family issue as a Dinka family. And then when we go to political arena, we have to differ from there, because he has got a different ideology and I have got my different political affiliation. Could be a good thing to say. And let us not say that we have to unite to oppress the other tribe, because those tribes are our brothers, our neighbor. And we got intermarriage. They got a family within us and we got a family within them. You see? So let us unite, do our own thing, pick our own house, and let us deeper in the political opinion. This is my call to all Dinka people, wherever you are. I don't say come and support the government, no. The supporting of the system is a choice of somebody. I don't think let us go and oppose the government, no. Opposing the system is a choice of a person. But I will call and say that let us unite, like what my sister Achai mentioned. You point a very important point, the last one. You say the governor, who is the new appointed governor of Warab State, should have been received with a celebration, but people receive it by fighting one another. And for sure, these are the one family, by the way. They know one another, they are brothers and sisters, they are cousins, they are uncles, and all this. But what happened, it is also a political game within the community, which are playing a negative game using the poor civilians against one another to degrade or to downside or to show that the man coming is not, he will not be capable of controlling the community. So again, the unity of the people, if there is, people will overcome that situation and we will come back to our position as a Dinka. Thank you very much. I don't want to talk much because Machir Soradab question was already answered by Brother Wood and Attilio, because he has got a little knowledge about the history exactly. Because if you say that Japanemeri was troubled to Egypt and then he was overthrown, that was lie. Japanemeri put us in trouble in the jail, and he transferred him to Shala in Western Sudan, the notorious jail. Such that when he come from America, he will come and do away with him. The Islamis never tolerate that. They move all the Sudan until the army come out and collaborate. And why they bring this one? Because the union and the union وعذاب الشرقية عذاب like حزب شوية حزب البحث العربي الاشتراكي or الومال, they were the one controlling. And they know that Islamists, they know that if these people come to the power without help of their men, they will not get a room. That's why they decide to bring Machir Hassan Dahab. And by the way, Machir Hassan Dahab, when he quit the presidency, he was appointed a race between Madam Daho Islamia and Magharbito Pisodia. And he was sitting there because I know his own brother is at Soradah. He was a doctor, and he was working in Bahrain, and I was working in Bahrain. I know it very well. That time, Machir Soradah was in Saudi Arabia. Machir Hassan Soradah is an AF. And if anyone knows Khartoum, there is a big mosque in the central, in the downtown, that is Soradah Mosque. This is their family mosque. So this is what I want to add. Sometimes people will come and blackmail people with a false story by saying that he was studying Khartoum and he knows the history. But the history, you have to tell the people the truth side of the history, not the wrong side of the history. This is what I want to add to my brother who had left the room before, who is called himself Machir Swarada. We know what was happening in the whole Sudan, not to tell us. We were not born in a refugee camp, but we were been working with the old system. I work with Japanemeri, I work with Swaradab, I work with Bashir. And I get out at the time of Bashir 1983 from Khartoum. I know everything, each and everything. So let us not blackmail ourselves. And thank you very much for those who give me a chance. Our community needs to unite together as a one family, but not against any other tribe. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Peter, very much. You know what Achai said before was correct, because when you see someone putting the names of somebody, they really mean that they want to do the same thing that was done by the person that is using the names, or you want to act like that person that is using the names. And we need to be careful, because people like Zoradab, most of these Arab revolutionaries, they were killing us, by the way. There's nothing for us as Junubin to be proud of their names. So Attila was right when he was asking that, why don't you be proud of some of the Equatorian guy instead of using Arabs? So basically, we don't own Junub Sudan as Jing. It's for all of us. And if there are people who have failed in politics, they don't have vision, they don't have mission, and they want to use Jing as the vision and mission to come up in politics, then we are saying no to them. You know, you don't use tribe as your ladder to come up in politics. We cannot be used as mission and vision for somebody to come up in politics. That is wrong. Sudan is for all of us. We did not liberate anybody. We liberate ourselves together as Junubin. So if you want to play politics, come up with some visions and avoid using Jing as your political goal. So Apuk, continue with the line.
Thank you. The next speaker is Deng. Maybe we can try to limit time to at least 5 minutes because there's a lot of speakers that are waiting. That way we can at least benefit from this conversation, if that's okay. Thank you. Continue. Deng?
Yeah, let one attack go. I'm driving. I'll let you know when I'm done. So I think the one is next. Let him pick it up.
Okay, then wall attack. Continue.
Thank you very much, moderators and the audience. I hope I'm being heard.
We can hear you.
Thank you.
Yes, in Ping will attack.
Thank you. First of all, I would like to express my heartfelt condolences to the passing of the war hero, General John Kong. He's a great man that have served the people of South Sudan and fought for them unwaveringly. And we mourn his loss. And on this note, I pass my regards to the family and to the leadership of the SPLM on his passing. And having said that, I want to go straight to the topic. And I would beg that you bear with me as I'm touching on some very, very important issue relating to the topics. One is, who told you Dinka owns South Sudan? Is a notion that had been circulating among the fellow South Sudanese. There are two notions that have been passing around. People believing, talking about Dinka monopolizing the power and monopolizing the economic resources of the country. And there's a notion of that we've liberated this country. And those notions are not healthy for the citizenship. And I want to speak my mind because this is what I am. You hate me for it, you love me for it. It doesn't change because I dislike any tribalism, either against or for Dinka. Because we are South Sudanese and we are sharing a space that belongs to all of us, and we must learn to share it peacefully and equitably without evoking a spirit of hatred. The first question is that why are Dinka in Equatoria? And I think that is the wrong question. Are Dinka citizens of South Sudan? If they are citizens of South Sudan, what does the law say about their existence in the towns where they are today? I'm a citizen of South Sudan. And the law says, or constitutional rights and also the electoral rights guaranteed me to live in anywhere in the country where I feel safe, I feel that I belong, I can stay. Not as a tribe, but as one Deng attack. And nobody has the right to tell me you should not live anywhere in the country except you tell me that I'm not a citizen of South Sudan, then you are right. But if I'm a citizen of this country, then you have no right to question me. However, my right to live in every part of South Sudan does not justify me to live unlawfully and cause some destructions. And these are the questions that we need to answer.
There are issues that we need not to shy away from. Number one, the issue that is stirring up this debate and the trouble that we've been seeing on the Facebook and the social media in general. One of the issues is the land grabbing questions. It exists, it is true. Number two is the destructions of food crops for the local people in Equatoria by the cattle skippers, cows. We know back in our home area for Dinka, we do not graze our cattle in anybody's farm unless what they call kadamrut, when after the crops have been removed and nobody needs whatever it is, then you allow the cattle to go there. But if you allow your cattle to go into somebody else's crops and destroy them, you are liable to pay. We need such laws to be enforced because you cannot control 100% the animals. But you also have responsibility to make sure that if your cattle sway and destroy somebody cassava or food crops, you are liable to pay for it. And you are liable to be fined by the government. That's one of the ways you can ensure coexistence as the people of South Sudan. Number two is the land grabbing. The land grabbing is real. There are people who have taken other people's land. And this is not limited to the Dinka. It's a problem that's widespread. في إكواتوريا تاني قوي بمشي يشيل من إكواتوريا مسكين and sells it. وفي دينكا تاني بمشي بيشيل من دينكا تاني مسكين ذاته. نفس في جوبا. Wow. I made an example of my sister, husband. He died. His house is taken by another Denga businessman who is so rich. And he used to be a businessman, used to be his shop since 1980s. But they took it. So this problem is a problem that's coming as a result of absence of rule of law in our country. And we need to urge our government to address it because there's no one else. Denga cannot stop and start protecting itself because if it do that, it become unlawful, taking laws into their hands. Equatorians or Mahdi or Bahari, they cannot do that. They rely on the government to protect because the only person that, or entity rather, that has been given the powers by the laws of the land is the government of the Republic of South Sudan to protect the citizens' life and their properties. That's why they're in power. And we need to encourage them and demand that give us the protection as a government. And we leave this aside that Dednas Gabila Falan, Unana Gabila Falan, it doesn't help us. Lastly, in the corruption of land that is causing the problem and hatred is within the registry in the Ministry of Land in Central Equatoria. They'll issue you a title deed, the ownership that gives you are the owner of the land, and will give another person the same document, and you'll find them fighting there. Rizal White going into Salah, even if he's not the owner, he may end up taking that one. Or if he has a lot of money, he will take that from the miskin. And miskin will go cry, and people who know that house that belong to the miskin will do say, okay, Zol Denga Flania, Nyakam Betra Zolda, and the word will go around negatively. That ministry need to be dealt with those individuals, just like the individuals we have in the Ministry of Finance, who are actually corrupting the country, and make sure that that fake contracts are signed and put into the system, including to the Ministry of Justice. And the government of South Sudan is paying millions of dollars that would have otherwise gone for development of our country into the hands of those fake businessmen and the fake and the corrupt officials in the Ministry of Finance and the Ministry of Justice. This is a lot of work that to be dealt with. Salva Kiir cannot do it alone. And I understand his frustration. We need, as a citizen, to collectively work in rooting these bad people are among us. Get them out, root them out, and put the right people in place to help us. Last but not the least, and I think this is important, political affiliation should not be confused to mean ethnic belonging. If my ideas with Thomas Cirillo, for example, are marching for the interests of the nation of South Sudan, I can form political entity, or I can do that with Riek Machar. I can do that with Waniga or Kirmayar, or who I'm bleeding with. I go as a politician and I come back as a Dinka to my community. That's where I belong. But political affiliations is where we compete and unite and have understanding that A, B, C are the things that we are going to do when we get the power. But it is not something that will be viewed as a betrayer to a tribe. Waniga is not betraying Bahari. Waniga is a war hero and he fought for the country and he's in the SPLM. Thomas Cirillo is a war hero. He has fought for the war. He broke away and is fighting against the government. Riek Machar fought for this country and he broke away twice. What do I mean with this? What I mean is that let us associate political parties with ethnic or regional groups. Let's question the ideas. If these people are failing to articulate the issues of the country, we have no legitimate right to blame their tribes. We leave them and their groups and we condemn them as a section because they don't represent. Salva Kiir doesn't represent the Dinka. He's the president of the Republic of South Sudan. If he's making a mistake, it's not a mistake of Dinka. Thomas Cirillo, if he has forces that are killing South Sudanese and targeting them on the ethnic tribe, it is not the Bari or the Equatorians who are doing it. We will hold him accountable with his group because the tribe where he comes from is so big that he has some people within the government of South Sudan fighting against him. And he has some people now who have joined him. It is a mistake to lump a tribe in a blanket. We have seen where we live now. If you alter a racism word, or a racist word, you will be punished by the law. We should adopt that thing. It's a good thing we can take as a people of South Sudan and use it to fight against tribalism. If I have offended you, I'm just speaking up my mind. I don't have anything against you, but I'm speaking on the issues I think are the issues of national importance that we should all work toward achieving them. If you view me wrong, I'll be happy to hear on your side of the story. At this stage, I want to say thank you very, very much for giving me opportunity, and let us unite against tribalism, regionalism, and the trade, and unite as a citizen of South Sudan with one common destiny, sharing a space called South Sudan, that we are obligated to serve it and make it a better place than when we found it. Shukran jazilan. Alaikum. Unless you have a question, I end here.
Yeah, thank you, Walatak, for the good statement. I'll just have a question to you, but let me say this. Robert, can you check your back channel? If you agree with that message, then let me know. Robert? Robert?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, check your back channel.
Yeah, let me check. Yeah, go ahead.
And let me know. Walatak, what I want you to emphasize as well, there was a question that was asked by Soraldab. He said that why do Dinka feel like they own Junub Sudan? What can you say about that?
I think our brothers in the north, or the northerners, so to speak, had one agenda. And the agenda is to control and exploit the resources in South Sudan for the benefit of Northern Sudan. And to achieve this, it must create divisions among the ethnicities within South Sudan. And you can see in 1983, the division of the regions now we call now with terms of our heart, Bahr el Ghazal, Equatoria, and Upper Nile. These were the agenda of Numeri, and he has used it to break up the unity of the South Sudanese as a bloc at the time. And you have used within southern politicians to the extent that certain behaviors within the government in Juba at the time, the regional government, they influence them to instill policies that actually fit the South Sudanese one against another. My view in this is that it is not different from mobilizing other ethnicities. You have seen them during the 1991. They were arming militias like Peter Gadet, including Riek Machar at the time, Lama Kol, to fight and broke the back of the movement. And the slogan was they're using Yun Garang Madenga Buto. They think that they want to own Junubin, so into Junubin or they're in Hak Batakum. Don't let Dr. John Garang to and Jamal talk to SPLM Dinka them, the one calling for it. It is a divisive mechanism, divide and rule, or divide, conquer and rule. That was it. But that has that has failed miserably. And the people of South Sudan should not follow that one. And I will not come to this platform and tell you what a Sudanese government official told me when I was visiting in Sudan at the time. He told me something, and I responded in the spirit of the SPLM SPLA at the time. I will not get into it what I should, because it might be taken in a different context. But the idea is to create a disunity and to make other people feel less South Sudanese. For this is how I look at it. Unless I hope I've answered your question though. Thank you.
Yes, yes. Thank you very much. You are right, because there is no any single Jiang that feel like they own Junub Sudan. Although he was giving some example about how the flag was actually raised in the north, and then the guy who was in charge pretend like he was sick, and one of the Dinka guy went and raised the flag. So these are notions that are connected, so that people could be divided, and then we will start having a fraction of each and every group fighting each other. And this is all part of the external force that want to divide us in Junub. Apu, continue with the line.
Okay, thank you. Well, I think you made some very great points. And the two that stood out to me were the land grabbing issues and also the destruction of crops or farming by cattle. I just feel like this is my personal opinion, of course, because I don't think there's anything out there that has been published properly, because in South Sudan it's very difficult to find facts. Yeah, I have not found anything online or anything that has been published regarding some of these allegations that are being claimed by individuals here on social media regarding like apparently the Dinka cattle or cattle herders allowing their crops, their cattle to go into farmlands and destroying crops. There's nothing that has been documented, you see. So anyone can say anything, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's true. Okay, and this thing just came up recently, and I just feel like it's just politically motivated as well, and that's what makes it very hard, to believe these things. Because if I'm hearing it from someone, for example, sorry to use names, like Bashir or someone like John Ochang, I'm highly likely to not believe it because it's not a reliable source, right? Anyone can make up anything. The issue of land grabbing, you started off and then at the end you corrected it, and I thought that was really good. You said that the issue is not only just the Dinka that are doing it, it's happening across, and it's the responsibility of the land commissioner or whoever that controls that to ensure that they're doing the right thing and monitoring, okay, the allocation of lands, because Juba is the capital city, unfortunately, and people will have to move there. It's the urban area. And for some of us that live in Western world, we know how that is like. It's, for example, I live in Sydney, and Sydney is quite overly crowded. You see, everyone is coming in, and everyone wants opportunities. So, and of course, you have to accommodate for these people because they're not going to be homeless, are they? So, really, it comes down to the ministries to do their job and to ensure that people are not being abused in any way. So I liked your ideas, like the fact that you pick two things, you put emphasis on it, and these are the things that a majority of Equatorians always want to put out there, like, oh, our lands are being grabbed, and kettles, and I'm like, there's a way that these things could be easily dealt with. Just have a chat with your local governments, okay? Speak to the state government, and then move on to your members of parliament if these things are, but have a substantial evidence. Don't just claim things and say things and then just blame everybody for it, including innocent people, and then just go on a rampage and start killing innocent people that have nothing to do with what's happening. I think it's a primitive way of dealing with things. We're living in a modern society now where people should not really lose their lives because of small things like this. So thank you for that. I think the next speaker is...
May I make a clarification, Madam, if you don't mind?
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you. The issue of crops and the animals wasn't the first thing. We discussed it when I was in Parliament. One of the things that we debated twice in 2008 and 2009. And there were one of the member of Parliament presented this and was backed by Bashir Bandi and then by Honorable Jimmy Wongo. I supported it when I saw the evidence. President Salva Kiir Mayardit did not act from the blue to order the cattle keepers to leave Equatorial region. It was based on the evidence collected, partly presented in Parliament, partly collected by the security and given to him. That's when he wrote a letter. Though we did not agree the way it was handled at the time, but the president wrote a letter directing the cattle keepers to go and directing the security apparatus to enforce that decision that he has written. So it is not something from the blue. Corruptions in the land grabbing and inside the ministry, it is true. Even me, despite that I was allocated the land by the virtue that I was a member of parliament, someone in the ministry refused because when he see the name Welding Attack, it made him feel like he should not give me that land and gave the land to my colleagues who came after me. And what did that mean? It means that there's also corruption. The land was sold using the name of the members of parliament, but we chose not to fight through it because we knew it is not heading somewhere. There are some things that we need to do because it is different level because it was being done administratively. And by that time, I left parliament. I couldn't follow it more. So there is corruption. What I tell you here, it's something that I have either witnessed it or gone through it or discriminated against it. Against, or I read about it, and what I read about it is something that authenticated as a government official at the time, as a member of parliament. I'm not making any propaganda here because it doesn't serve anybody. What I'm saying is something that I think can serve our country better, and it can help the president Salva Kiir Mayardit to leave a good legacy if it takes some of these and use them effectively. Thank you.
I think we'll move on to the next speaker. I don't know, Deng, are you ready, or should I just move on to Mpos?
I think Deng spoke already. I think.
No, he didn't.
No,
No,
Deng.
I am ready. Yes.
Okay, it's your turn.
Deng said he was driving earlier.
Yeah. Thank you, Cow. I can call you with your name, Cow.
No,
in,
I'm
a
not
book.
Cow. I may look like Cow, but I'm not.
Yeah. She loved that name. That's a symbol of life.
والله ده مشكلة يا ده كميس والله يا ما بدأ جنوبين ده مشكلة كثير خلاص.
Yeah. So she know what she meant by cow, by the way. It's a symbol of life. Those cows were part of our revolution. They saved our life, and they were our traditional and norm before the war. So probably South Sudan majority of cattle keepers, that based on life on cattle in South Sudan, they are more than those who just depend on crops. So I agree with her. That's a beautiful name. Welcome back, my dear sister Apok. It's been a long time. This is the second time to hear your voice in Clubhouse for maybe 2 months. First of all, let me greet all the speakers here, moderators, our audience. And second, my condolences to the family of our cadres, Comrade John Kong Yuan, the former Minister of Defense of Republic of South Sudan, at the same time, former governor of Jonglei State, and was currently a member of the political bureau in the SPLM party. I heard that he passed away in Germany. If that information is correct, that's my condolences to his family. Coming back, my second is the question that I asked Comrade Obiang earlier, because nobody can ask a question without a justification sometime, but I did not want to hold the line. That's why I told you I will try to narrate it later on why I asked him that question. The reason I asked my colleague a question when he was in the room of proudly Apanan something, I don't remember, I can't recall the name of that page, but it's being run by Guy Lam and Comrade Baraj was not in the room today. The room was moderated by Guy Lam himself, who is actually owner of that the page, open the topic, and Bashir, who named himself Monkey People or something like that. Simon Obui, Teresa Jabek, and I think there were more moderators in the room. Bashir was arguing with Comrade Abian. He was asking Abian an exact question that I asked him. He asked him who is killing people in Aparna, in Bargadan, and Equatoria. Comrade Abian kept saying it's SPLM. It's SPLM killing people killing people in those areas. Bashir get mad, and he was telling him, why you kept saying SPLM and you're not saying it's a Dinka? And I remember how they end. I think Bashir took over and he did not allow him to finish. They complained. And when he came here, I'm not trying to intimidate him, but I'm just trying to resonate how we give our answers sometimes. That room, it was very, very, very chaotic. The room, it was one room. And when you're giving a wrong answer, sometimes you generated more dangerous question. So I think the right answer is the one that you gave when I asked him here. He gave a different answer in this room. The South Sudanese are killing themselves. That's only what all the South Sudanese know. Our civilian or our citizen are killing themselves in the country, all along, everywhere. And if you are giving that answer that the SPLM is the one killing people in South Sudan, then I don't know what to say. And it's good to know when you give a different answer from here and you give a different answer to from there, then the citizen get confused. And it's one of the reasons why we are fighting here in Clubhouse every day. Let me go back to the topic.
Oh, Denka, I actually have to explain this to you. You didn't understand me well when I was in that room.
No, I did. The room is recorded. You said it 3 times, so I know what. I asked you the exact question that Bashir was asking you. Yeah, the difference between you and Bashir is saying is Dinka killing people of South Sudan, and you were saying the SPLM is killing people of South Sudan. So the answers
Hey, these
were
people,
only
they are
2.
under leadership of SPLM that are killing people. The South Sudanese defend for the SPLA, of course. The SPLA, right?
That is a wrong answer too, because
How could it be wrong answer?
the people hold on, people that are not that are killing themselves, civilians that are killing themselves in the villages are not SPLM. Then SPLM do not order them to kill themselves, or SPLM when go to the village and start shooting them. That's a wrong answer, my brother. Anyway, good
Bashir
luck
was
with
asking those who are killed in Equatoria, not in the
Abiel,
villages, in Equatoria.
Why don't we do this?
Abir,
Allow them
Abir,
to
can you let me finish?
yeah, and then
I
if
know
you want
I
to,
would.
then 1 second.
Yeah, I just.
If you want to interject afterwards, it's okay. You will be allowed to, but just allow Deng to finish his statement. Thank you.
Thank you. I just want to switch away from that topic because I don't want to change your topic, but I was just saying when we're giving 2 different answers, sometimes citizens are getting more confused. What is said here, I don't know who said it and what room. Somebody said it that South Sudan is owned by Dinka. Yes, it is not something new. It's always there. And there are people that consider themselves that they are not South Sudanese. Don't forget about that. There are people that were actually they become South Sudanese by default. Those are so bitter, so bad, and they will never change their statement. South Sudan belong to South Sudanese, and if people are talking about peace and unity all the time, I believe this is the reason why Dinka is become on the spotlight. Everyone is focused on naming Dinka as their problem. It's become a source of income as well. So people that I know that were obstacle to some other tribe back years supporting the government of South Sudan. Now they are not supporting the government of South Sudan, and they not even consider themselves as a opposition, but they are fighting the tribe called Dinka. At the same time, when it becomes a source of income, those who were in the government and they decided to leave the government and become somebody somewhere, they are working hard. They are working hard to bring down the name called Dinka. It's not something new. But if you fight with Dinka with giving a reasonable claim for you, your claim will be okay. But if you connect everything that has nothing to do with that tribe, it's so naive for you to focus. If Dinka is not important, why you focus on them? That's my question too. If you believe that Dinka are not important human being or part of South Sudan, why you focus on something that have no values? That's number one you can do. If myself, there's some room that I don't value, and those room I can just go and listen down there or leave later on, and I never raise my hand, cause I know their argument, what they are generating, they do not have values in my life. Why do I have to bother? I just listen to them like other human being that is talking that I do not know where they're coming from. and I can listen to them. Why not? But if you spend too much time on the same thing, that means that the thing that you are paying more attention, you are value your time, try to narrate it or try to break that person down, and you think that you are doing great. You are even promoting that ethnic to the next level more than you don't even know. So this is what I would say. The real citizen of South Sudan, they do understand what is the problem. Yes, South Sudan is a tribal country. If you deny it, then your brain have a problem. You do not live with us in this world. Since the foundation of Sudan, when Sudan became a country, Sudan was a tribal country. At the same time, the South Sudan pick up arm. People were actually mobilized through tribal line. And where do you think that tribal went to after independence? We have a long way to go to become a country. But at this moment now, we need to consider ourselves and try to have an open dialogue. If you don't like something, speak it out clearly where people will understand you, what you want to say. But don't just jumping from left and right, back and forth, producing unnecessary question and try to accuse everyone for your own failure. And this is the reason I kept saying that we do not have a political opposition in South Sudan. We have only tribalists. We have gangs. We have authorities. That's only what we have. We do not have political opposition. Political opposition always focus on the development of the country, and they are challenging themselves at the same time when they are still working on it. But what are we now? What people are doing is not actually adding any value, and it's not changing life in South Sudan. So for those who consider South Sudan is a country that is belong to Dinka, my brother and my sister try to revisit your brain, your mind, try to revisit your concept. How do you perceive what is the meaning of the country and what is the meaning of tribe? I'm not talking about domination here or the biggest, who is the biggest tribe in the country. Those are not negotiable. Numbers are not negotiable. They always come as numbers when the census is done. You don't have to negotiate it with the other tribe, so your numbers can be reduced or they can be matched with the other tribe. That's none. That's something that we don't have to waste time. So I appreciate you both of you that opened the room and our speakers here. Let's try to have peace of mind sometime. Ignore some other issues. Dinka is not a problem. The problem is the South Sudanese who had never had a government, and they have a government for the first time and do not know what to do with it. The South Sudanese who had never have a government, and they have a government for the first time, and they do not know the difference between the government and society. Everything is just being combined. If you committed crime yourself, it had to be blamed on somebody, and this is what happened. We, the citizen, we need to know the difference between you and as a citizen and the government. What is your role? What is the role of the government? Then we will be able to fix South Sudan to be another country in the planet here. Otherwise, we have a long way to go, and you do not give yourself a headache or hard time thinking about Dinka. Dinka are part of that nation, and they have a contribution to give in that nation. So if you are focused on Dinka every day, you are just nothing, and you are wasting your time. try to come down and see what you are doing. Otherwise, you are not considering yourself as a citizen of that country. Okay, we do not have a right to force you to be a South Sudanese, but you have a right to criticize the government and leave the society alone. We have every tribe in South Sudan, even 2 or 3 people, they speak one language, and they do not have other association with other languages. That people that can be justified as a tribe. That it don't matter what the number is. I will rest my case here. Thank you for the clarification here. I think this topic is not fighting with anybody, but it's a clarification that telling you the government or the country called South Sudan is not owned by any tribe. It belongs to own the living human being in that country. It's part of Africa continent, and we both belong to that area. Thank you. I'll yield the mic back to you. If anybody have a question, they will ask me later on, and I will be here.
Yes, I have a question.
Let me answer to that first, please. 1 minute.
Matilda, do you know?
Yes.
Okay. First thing first, I just wanted to make a few clarification here because a lot of people do this in Clubhouse and it becomes a bit frustrating. I think majority of us that are here, we all know how Clubhouse operates. Believe me, sometimes you can even stay up here for hours and not get a chance to speak at all. It's not because moderators are skipping you. We try our best to ensure that we follow the line so that everyone gets a chance, unless if someone, try to ask for permission. Let's say, for example, they're at work or whatever and they need to be prioritized. And then we seek permission. But we're very fair here, I think. We're following line. So if you come to Clubhouse and you're very impatient and you don't have time, you can easily just drop yourself and come back next time. Or if not, just make sure you come back when you have plenty of time in your hands. Don't come in if you have stuff to do, because that's just how Clubhouse is. It takes forever. Okay, so for people that are complaining here, saying that, oh, we're skipping them, that's not true, because usually, especially with me, I refresh my screen every now and then, and we try our best to follow the line as much as we can. So if you have been skipped, or if you keep on leaving and coming back, you'll find that your place is not the same, because obviously people have to move on. So I just wanted to say that in this room, I think people are trying to be fair as much as we can. So if you want to come to Clubhouse and participate in these forums, you need to give yourself enough time. Do it when you are totally free, not when you're like in a rush and then start blaming the moderators. Just wanted to put that out there. Thank you very much. Matilda, I'll put it back to you so that you can continue.
Yes, I just want Robert to explain something about it. You can continue with the line. So Robert,
Thank you, Matal.
Yeah. Mm. So was it who's talking? Was it a Biel that we said we were going to give 1 minute to answer Denkamis? Or?
yes, Abiel will come. Let Robert just say something.
Okay, no.
All right. Thank you, Matal. I just apologize to you because I was here a few minutes ago, but I dropped myself because it's getting late for me here. But I really do like the topic, and I hope the same topic will be able to come in few days to come, because I really wanted to talk in length about the topic. And thank you so much. I'm sorry for interrupting other people. We'll see you again. Bye now.
Okay, thank you, Robert. We're gonna have the next coming room in a few hours, and it's also going to be related to this topic. And we want you to be one of the guest speakers there, so it would be great for you to come there and speak as much as you want. And seeing you'll be the guest speaker, you'll have enough time. So thank you for that. Otherwise, we'll continue. I think Abiel want to interject. You can continue now with the line.
Abiel, so we'll give you a minute to interject. Unfortunately, Deng is not even here.
Yes.
Yeah, Abiel, sorry. I just wanted to say that unfortunately Deng is not even here. So even if you respond, oh, he's here. He's here. Okay, you have 1 minute. Let's go.
Yeah, what I just want to say to Brother Denkam is in the room of proudly Apodile Helia, the question that you asked is totally different than the question that Bashir was asking. Bashir was blaming the killing that's happening in Equatoria, that the Jing or the Denga are the one killing people there. And I say, yeah, Bashir, they are not the Denka. If there are sons of Denka that are uniform, they are not the Denkas, but they are representing the government of South Sudan, the SPLM or the SPLA. They cannot be attributed into the tribe. And that's what the same notion that we've been saying in Clubhouse here, Jamana. If there is a son of Denka that is in uniform, it does not represent the Dinka. It represents the government. It represents the SPLA. It represents South Sudan Defense Force. Therefore, any wrongdoing that may have been committed by that son of Denka is not being committed by the name of the Jing as a tribe. Totally is different than the killing that you're asking that was killing people in South Sudan. And this is how the answer to Bashir. I say yes, it is SPLM that is responsible, and any misdoing in South Sudan can be only attributed to the government that is in charge of the country affairs. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the clarification, Abiel. I think we'll continue to move the line because there's people that have been waiting for quite some time. Embos, are
I'll
you
just move
available?
down. It's getting late here. I'll just listen. I will move down. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Cow loving, is that my turn, yeah?
Yes.
All right, thank God. It's been long wait. This is Club Hours, how it is. And I hope you can hear me clearly.
Yes, we can hear you.
All right, that's fine. Thank you. I greet everyone, moderators, and everyone on the podium, and those are listening down there. First of all, before I go to topic, I just want clarification about few points. Question was asked by somebody about Swara Dahab, and it was being answered by Attilo, and also been answered by Honorable Wall Attack. So, but I just want to say something here. There's something come across talking about Nimeri. Nimeri is not just going to U.S. Nimeri, he joined the military during the British time, and he graduated from Kansas military camp in U.S. That where he's the first time went to U.S. After he finished military course in Sudan. Later, he went to U.S. Following up the course, and he graduated in U.S. Kansas City. It's called Leavenworth College Military. If you are in U.S., that's where it's there. There where he been graduated there. When he come back to Sudan, he attempt coup 9 months later after independence, 1966, and he fell because there were Abud. It was a military high military rank, and followed by Nimeri. So these are the corrections just I want to highlight. And also, when he came back from the U.S., when he was been withdrawn, and he was disagreement with Bona Malwal after he arrested Bona Malwal and sacked him, and the person that is appointed to be a minister, Mohammed something, and he was Uncle Bona colleague, and then told him, and then by then the president of Egypt, it was Anwar Sadat back then. So they had they told him that Nimeri don't come to Sudan. There's a coup already there, and then they set it up to go to Egypt, and that's where Egyptian hold him somewhere there in Egypt, which is later come to 82 when Hosni Mubarak took over. So that he been held there. That was withdrawal of the Nimeri. Let me make comment here about this something called land issues. Land issues that should supposed to be government should change it right now. Who's are the beneficial of the land grabbing? There's some Equatorian chiefs and individuals are going to their pocket. South Sudan government, this is my recommendation. South Sudan government right now should change the land policy. Nobody is beneficial. There's a corruption, even in Equatoria, there are making corruption about land issues. If the land change land policy to be the government Now it would be better solution to those if people, individuals and chiefs, and making beneficial of the land. That's what should happen. South Sudan need to change that land policy. Second, let me make a recommendation is that there is something called Equatoria, which is that Walatak was saying earlier. Those Arab, they were having the one goals, how to destroy South Sudan, division, and that's why they come up with the region, which is Equatorial Barkazal. I don't believe by all this region. Now, after independence, South Sudan government should establish what they call province or whatever called mahafazat, Kali Equatoria or all this to demolish totally for good and create a new page that should be mahafazat region of Sudan, because that mentality is destroying us. And this is recommended to government of South Sudan right now. Come up with a new system. We're having a nation. Come up, Sudan يكون محافظات. Forget about Equatoria, Barkazal, Apanal. Those are causing a lot of issues, and it become that a political agenda are using and all these things. So let's go to the topic. Your topic will be one answer. Okay. Who? Okay, what's it called? Okay, who told you South Sudan owned by Dinka? Personally, it's very simple answer to me, and I can say that it's just those opposition that lost political ground, political agenda. These are the people are using mentality that division with the ethnic group and all these things. These are those opposition. They don't have any political agenda. They don't have goals. They don't have nothing. They have to use the way how it is, because that they come from the SPLM itself. SPLM that now those rebel against them, give them power to be the part of them, and that is become the culture now, and they want to use that a different way, different angle to be the Dinka. Sudan is owned by all 64 tribe plus. It's all belong to all of us. But those people that they don't have political agenda, they don't have political vision, goals, and these are people they want to use that. This is the way that to tarnish one ethnic group or one another, and that's what I can say. And I will stop here. This is my answer to this one. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mbos, for keeping it short. The next speaker is Mojo. Mojo, are you there? Mojo? Mojo, are you available? Moderators, can you hear me, or is it?
Yes, we can hear you. I think he might be sleeping.
Oh.
That's why he's not responding. Continue, yeah.
All right. I think Machai already spoke before, so we'll probably move on to Jurton. Mama Jurton, you are welcome. Thank you.
السلام عليكم كلكم moderators والناس القاعدين تحت باسم Southern Sudan. من قبل أنا قاعد نسمع تحت هنا بالموضوع بتاع جنوب السودان who owns Southern Sudan. Southern Sudan is belong to all of us Southern Sudanese. It's not for Dinka, it's for everyone in Southern Sudan. So for the people that having a narrow-minded saying that Southern Sudan is owned by Dinkas, there is no Dinka who owns Southern Sudan. It is this dirty politics that came out after we got the referendum of Southern Sudan is taking us to the wrong road, saying that Southern Sudan is belong to Dinkas. When you come as a son of Southern Sudan and you want to be a good leader, you cannot differentiate people and divide people into millions of tribalism. So the tribalism is the one killing us, we Southern Sudanese. We should go to the route that is going to take us to healthy way, not destroying the country, because the tribalism is destroying our country now. People are in chaos because of the tribalism. Second to it, the land grassing in Equatorians. I never saw people got killed in in the farm or cows got killed in the farm. You just saw them, they are in the bush where there is no farming, and the people got shut down, animal got shut down. So it means that there is a hidden agenda behind this case of Equatorians. So it is the weakness of the government of Southern Sudan allowed those people to do this problem while they are inside the government of Southern Sudan. They should they should uh, they should put themselves in a good government, not to allow them to do the corruption of killing people. People they did the corruption of looting the country, and then people turn to the citizen of the country to get killed day and night, and people are hiding it, saying that it is the the land problem of farming is not a land problem. Farming is a hidden agenda, and the government know about it because they allow the killers to go inside killing civilians and naming them. They are non-educated. They are refugee uh, citizens. They are not educated. But who gave them the freedom of the country? It is people that they name them like they are refugee people. Like when I heard from one of my brother here saying that they were in refugee camp. When they were in refugee camp, they were liberating the country for you, and you were in Khartoum side, siding with Trabi, Umar Bashir, and planning to come to Eastern Equatoria, killing Dinka, that they are not educated, giving you the freedom of the country. And now people put them down, stepping on them, naming them, giving them name, killing them, letting them beg in the market. And people say that from refugee camp, that's what brought me up here. Because when we left the country, when we left Northern Sudan and we went to the bush, we left in Wow, for those Wow, Bashir Bashir. Bashir Bashir know Medan Isaac in Wow, 1985. What we did in Medan Isaac. Medan Isaac, there were Wow Day in Medan Isaac. There were Madmayo in Medan Isaac. There were Wow Commercial in Medan Isaac. And then Dr. Trabi came to come and set down the Dao Islamia. Dao Islamia. We taught him a lesson that he never forget until he died. He will not think that he's gonna come back to Wow and rule people with Islamic. I am a daughter of somebody background Islamic, but we didn't accept that Islamic to go down in Medan Isaac. So we chased him away and he ran. So this time now people are naming us. We are non-educators. Well and good. We gave you guys education. But what is going on in Equatorial land is not the problem of the farming. It's a hidden agenda from politicians, people killing innocent people and leaving people to beg in the market. And then they tell us that they are non-educated. I'm mad about that case. And Bashir, he doesn't know what he's talking about. He banned the flag, and he's idiot with a narrow brain. It's not called a politic. The politic, you cannot ban your flag. You cannot create your flag to be a cockroach. That's total disagreement. But we as Southern Sudanese, we should unite and build our country and share away something called tribalism among us. That's where we will move forward. But if people are saying that they are still stuck on Dinka, Equatorian, whoever, it's not gonna open the way for us. It's gonna lead us to hell. It's not gonna help Southern Sudan. So for us here, regarding the malicious stuff in Wow that was created by Trabi, Asen Trabi, and Swarazab came and ran after Nimeri ran. Swarazab came. Swarazab, he didn't stay there longer, and he ran too because Southern Sudanese, they were really strong. It's not like this time now people get divided into million pieces of leadership that is not going to lead us anywhere. People are dying day and night. We don't have any hospital. We don't have nothing in the country. So, and then people, they start dividing people, naming people. Like my brother said that there were people that were in refugee camp and we were in Khartoum government and we were happy. You don't have to be proud of Khartoum government to come and tell us Khartoum government. We will not accept that. That's why people are fighting in Juba. We have to avoid all these cases that long time ago stories of the war. We should ban them and put them aside. And then we start the new road that is going to lead us to build the country, not divide it all the time. Dinka, dinka, door, door, door. That mentality is not going to give us anything. It's going to destroy our country more and more. And then the next generation is going to follow the same shoes that we are wearing. They are going to wear the same shoes. And we don't like that. Myself, I don't like to see that in Southern Sudan. To Bashir, I don't go to his room because I don't like his talk. The way he talk is going to kill more people in the town of Wow. And those are Jasin min zaman ya Bashir alkuna guiding for Wow de la Jasin del Kulumato. De nano banad Wow de Mad Mayo wow commercial ya nano guiding hasa ya begin a Jasin bitad Wow. Tani ma yajak lugulena tani shakla namshi ni shaklu fi Wow ونقتل يجي يقتلونا تاني ما دايرين كلام زي ده كبري واو بيجا زي مرة راجل بتوع ماد من سنة ياك بيجا قديم بيجا شين أديكا بيجا شين 200 نعملوا محلات دي لشان تاني نعملوا فلفسة فوقه 200 نمشي نعملوا نبنوا استات كنا قاعدين نمشي فوقه سنة 85 84 86 200 نبنوا إلا كلام بس political ما بودينا أي محل يا بيجينا ستاك فوقه قاعدين نتكلم فوقه فلو انت جنب بتاع جنوب السودان انت راجل وانت مرة لازم تفكر طريقة اللي بيجيبنا سوا ونخلي الدفاتر القدم ديل العمل لنا الرجعية ده بقينا قداديم في محلات تانيين نرجو للبلد بتاعنا ونبني بلد بتاعنا من مع كل ما يوم نتكلم بحاجات بتاع الرجعية ده ما بودينا أي محل فين واري الجيش الأمر يلوي la sa ding ma di kalang banyil bany lo tifakia ki jon jai kalang chen ko bere tifakia
ya SPLA
aspiali nak tung wich
Tonglel
banya ko dang lo jon ye ja
ya
magiran kachin ba bagir bai sudana bagir you wala bagir aram shamal meram Rabi in ki burjua sading madi ini juben wi jam dan Sudan ini rai ba wir shab Sudan so ini ke rajai ya kana juben wi ja chi je shala mare le la gal ka kare refugee camp kwa ke mudu refugee camp kwa ke buat mudu refugee camp et tenerir ke tin diga to ni junub biga buzur bitat junub Sudan na lek ben ke ko kumpe ni junub be tariga kwais kwa che tariga bitat corruption e ko tegi ku ka ja nakki ke chen akata ko tin because ko kurnin aluka get ku ko chi dit aluka la baitor ko chi tem chuk ku ko chi ngol ku ko chi ming mutin ke rer juba ke ge yog la ka ki pyo time kun wed war chi te taro fe ji kem ka ku bi get wala ko ke ba kortum ke che get ke ko ba ku lo ku lui ke gon yu ji ke tin because ake ga owner ka ginu Sudan ke ga lu ko lu respected te yin karan lang pu ku ye man bai ku yu ran chi tem chuk ku yu ran chi tem chuk ku yu ran chi ming ku yu ran chi ngol ke te sugi ke yen owner of that country kwa ke ga wij bu ke nok fu juba kwa ke ga ye kai nim sugi kwa ke ga ye lat ka ke pyo ran de yu ke chen ka ki ke cha ma char ye ko alat you must respect that person e yen ran chi yik alam kwen ran chi yik biet kwen ran chi yik pin yin chatin kana baya latin en ran chi taman tafin fi medan bitat juba fa ayi ma kan fi eastern equatoria or western equatorian nonsense ke wel duarka yen bankir yen kutong gam tine nan che mun yen chila lok kan dir jabona na ye banya dil kide ku ye ban ka yen nen ki chol tribe zium ken ku joka ang chup ran la ben ku le kala moten le moten ma ga korori ko chi kwa ke mai domi akik mo domi ala mo rori kedang timi kayene ran kan ka tol ba bay gwen ngwe ran la lob te den kia den tin ka gak biogen ka gak tin ki ben ba mara du bu dong tok bio gak ku ba ku nak tiom kana wi bi akuma dol ina kuma ta pinten ma da na lem kani en tiom kana wi ba dol ku bi ayin bete ku na ye ke kataman kita pen fikit ku kita pen to no etaman ditet in kita pen kwa chu wi bu tek to la ka wa bai to e tarku ke pian da wodi ran te long tu kuran ti la ror kuran ti no e pen den ke dia ti ran bu le la gal ke no ona ke ran ti ba nya lakin disrespect en wi bu wem ke jo na go rut en wi ba le ke we kai ka kularan mo te ti ni dum ka yini mo sule nin ke na yin la nyen de inte lu yen kunyali ke we pe nya ti bak ti ne na la lo ya ri we ga chale.
Thank you so much. Like we need to respect our soldiers and the armies, people that fought for our liberation, the ones that have nothing at the moment, you know. But if we can disrespected, we should respect them and at least show them a little bit of courtesy. So thank you for that. Kukuyin jeja merin ke dead for the kolkol. Cause jeja merache. Ache mamu wan. Na choka koi koko chila refugee camp. Kada dulu chika na back first dijala it to the refugee camp. Haka chi chada tiarat. Aga chada ka chokwa che den kol kwa che. Ka joje pa chik tik karaj.
Refugee camp chok lwel ke nyandi refugee camp le ko jele ko ya kare refugee camp refugee camp chi chak tin wo go ga dietin o ga la front line go le ai tim tar kala te chini got ke na ma mis ke to got pin yuro bio ko kula ku chin ya le pan junu sudan yigi medin na wena na chi yegin ka chin te bi ben dietin front line ko bio gan tinok ko ja jot ke ku yet ke refugee camp ke mit kor ku jala dia le ku leg diet na chi ga diet tayin kaman e jal tin ten ma tin ten ke refugee ke mo ke ku bi ka ba la lu liberated because the two chin te ko pur tin ko tar e front line ten so e en ke refugee lat ko ke ga chi ba lu ku bi we ga ben yit na kol so ke refugee ka a refugee ka pu dom tin we dom ku bu ben be ko chi mi de no bot e tayin lu ba a chi mo
ku
ngi ye ga ko ni
ka tedi ake ga tedi bi ga damu ko
kwa ke
bi
ga ye
ga
te
tor
di
ke
na
dam.
chi di na chi di ke ka wet ngwen ka kuin ka be bi ba na tor mi ko ga chi to ko kor ke di ke mi ka so mi ele la ana lui war fi ka tum government ku ana was ko dang kwen ko dang mentality ke ne long me ka junu ba da ko ja chi la twen so ngwen bi ye ka boy ba ko chi ri ra main ka po ta ka yo junu ko lon chi ok de la chu mur ni tiom junu ken yan jam ko we kan kang de like ga lia cha lang 6 months ku piu aliu uga chila uga anye uga nye 3000 refugee ka kadang lost boys ka bi long bar kizal bi ka tek pashala ku jaw ka nyaay o mun pandi ku nyun ku ran chol matiang a luong moy bor nyun ku pashala ke ga yom simon ku yedu ke pinyu du tero no go kula ku yoku je shala mar ken penyidu ke tar ke ga nyak den chola genga go wi bo mo wir ke je shala mar go ko te bula ror dima bi o ka dang la loiti bi o ka la tiane 3000 won je shala mar bi long bar kizal ke bor bad ma chi tong jala to be o jabana ben buga du long be cham du mo du pa shala shan bo be yek dam ken je ku bu ka gat penyidu goro wadwo no kala 6 months wondia gwa mon pandi yo ku lwel en mutini chom kani chawi be wi tola na deg like ku go like ti nyot go ka chol ka nyin malwal ko ka po garol ku deke an ti ben pir an ke ben to ko an wat ko nim ku wal dal ci chok la tin ken ala go ga ci la ten pat war te tin o ga ci war ben yo ku lok pir won lo war yo ku de ku go dang ba la lo wir wa ba la ba dang de puter kalang 6 months ku taro ka bai bi je shalamar ku bulata dugo ke penyu a chu bana ton jana fil rin twen an chol penyu 1989 ka we bai pinken te yogi nen chi ngol kwa chi bal kwa chi yende kwa chi tigro fe ji kem wa your mouse a ka ko ka a chi bena ba chi daftar ye lela la gal wa ulan ngak war ke chi ngak no rori iran ye ba ba le ke chi ngak no rori iran ra junub kan because ka agon cases bashir kam ko ke bashirin chi ko to tinte ka ye tyo ka ba ku rit ka tin ku lok twen because pinyo ko no chimen ke die nen wadi de nen ku madi de ne riak ma char pan chol panya go ware man pe na la po tak sharp junu be yen bu gala chol to bi ogen ruon to guben mana to ga chi bai maji ka chin ke le bu ko ke ko ta bai I forgive wale ko chim chuk ten a chi ben ato e ke men ben ten tik ten wala ya di ku bu ko jala mo la ke ka nyanya dak le yen loyu ene te bi ke ja ban pai ke kaka kuna ipal ke bu ka chi mo kula ko tin election ba dar ba sana ka ban